it do? What it do? What it do? How you guys doing? Tuesday, which means whole day, back and buys, abs and cardio as usual. Cardio and abs every day. Today was a good day, honestly. Work was smooth. A little bit busy here and there, but nothing over the top, nothing wild. Oh man, sorry for the glare. I do need to. So I'm still learning, how to record and edit and make sure I'm producing the best possible content I can. Again, still learning some new things with the camera, all that good stuff. But so I do apologize for the quality if it's not up to par, if it's not the greatest quality. But I'm trying, I'm learning. So I'm just very happy to be making content, putting it out there. My lifts, my interactions, all that good stuff. It's fun. Honestly, it's fun. I used to think about this stuff, and I'm like, I could never get into that. I could never do this. I could never do that. But then I'm like, after growing up a bit, learning a bit more about myself, learning more about what I'm interested in, what I like to do. This was one of those things that came up, and I realized because when I was in high school, I made this little workout account on Instagram when I was playing football. I post my drills on there, working out, lifting, cone drills, ladder drills, routes, all that cool stuff. So I looked back at that and I was like, man, I was doing this since I was a kid. Why not continue it? But now that I have the future lined up and all that good stuff and resources, I'm like, why don't I use these things? Why don't I incorporate this into my lifestyle? So it's fun stuff. I just really, really enjoy it. Plus, there's something about just watching your videos back when you're lifting, when you're talking to people. You just catch things about yourself. You notice, more of the little details, and again, you start learning more and more about yourself. And I think that's one of the most important things is, learning yourself. Not only learning about the things around you and all that good stuff, but learning about who you are as a person, discovering where you belong, in the society. Because you belong in society, but there's different areas as to where you could do best at. And for me, I feel like it's the fitness community, the gym environment, the bodybuilding community, all that good stuff. And I love being a part of it. I love being able to say, I am part of something bigger than myself. That's how I felt about the Marine Corps as well when I first got in. I was like, man, I'm doing something bigger than me. And that's what we should all be striving for every single day. Something bigger than ourselves, something more important than ourselves. We're always going to be important, but there's always something more. There's always something more, if that makes sense. So, yeah, but feeling good. Definitely tired, fatigued. I'm ready to get this lift in, go home, edit this video, and call it a day because I am tired and hungry. Goodness gracious! I just have a shake left after my workout. I just had a little rice cake as I'm on my way to the gym after work as my pre-workout snack. I'm about to take my pre here in a second and just get it going. I'm gonna hit a monstrous back day. The plan is to get wide. The plan is to stay wide, stay dense, stay full, while dropping body fat, of course, and water and sodium. So, but we're doing good for 8 weeks out, just continuously making adjustments, continuously making improvements. Like every morning I wake up and I look in the mirror, I'm like, damn, I'm getting tighter and tighter, that's just what it seems like. Obviously not every day, but weekly for sure. I look in the mirror, I take a picture, I'm like, damn, like everything's popping out. I'm like, the best part about it is I'm even though the last thing I have to eat before I go to bed is a shake, or not to eat, but to consume. The last thing I have is a shake. I still wake up in the morning feeling full, like I'm not looking flat. And that is what I'm loving. That is how I know I'm on the right track, all that good stuff. I talked to my coach about it. He's like, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Making dietary adjustments here and there as the weeks get closer and closer. But the fullness is there, and I'm very, very happy about that. So we're on the right track, and there's nothing better than that. But got to be getting to the gym here soon. So, pull day. I will see you guys in there. trying to tell me that this kid is 19. That's pretty crazy, bro. That's wild to me that you're 19. Yeah, bro. Look at this guy. Big ass 19-year-old. I'm just. Whoa, look at you, bro. Freaking Corbin Blue in the gym. Corbin Blue. Hey, we're all in this together.
That's never going away. Ever. Ever. Never ever. We got a few more things left, and then we're off to have some partying. So, got to get that done.